Well, I was just gonna say, I meant to text you this earlier, but I took Luna to the vet this morning for just her annual checkup,
Mm-hmm.
and it took longer than it should have because the vet was having trouble, like, listening to her heart rate and stuff like that because she never stopped purring the entire time. Like, from the moment we walked in the building, she never stopped purring. And she's like, I can't hear. She's in there with the stethoscope on her belly. And she was like, what if I pick her up? Will that make her stop purring?
No.
It's like, yeah, good luck with that. She's not gonna stop. It
Good
was so
luck.
funny. But she was very charmed by her, and when she finished the exam, she just picked her up and like snuggled her for a minute. And
Me as a vet, honestly.
she called her the perfect cat because she was in good health and she was so snuggly and soft. But hey,
I absolutely love that for you.
yeah.
Um, I'm gonna call this episode 117, round two, Electric Boogaloo.
Right?
Cause,
Yeah.
guess who screwed up last week? Me.
We didn't
We now
actually
have
have
a
an
lost
episode.
episode due to me not using the correct, or not changing to the correct audio inputs while recording.
Ah, yes, I was
60.
just I was just looking at the episode doc, and I see anything worth mentioning.
Yeah. um, this feels like a million years ago now, and I don't know. Actually, I do know why. It's because we're not publishing anything that week, and that makes it feel like this happened like 30 billion years ago. Or like we're
Yeah.
not. It is Wednesday, March 8th. The week of Wednesday, March 8th. So Friday, March 10th, there will be
Yeah.
no episode, which feels bizarre to me. This will already be over by the time you're listening to this, so like does it matter? No. But am I like already too deep in this explanation? Yeah, so I'm going to continue it. So it makes me feel like the episode that we recorded literally last week was like a
Hmm.
million years ago because I haven't done any work on it. I just opened the file, started listening to it, and then was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's hard to like, because obviously we know what things we discussed and everything, but a lot of the like little random bits might
Yeah,
be.
I am gonna say, um, I'm wearing the same shirt as the OG attempt because it's beautiful and it's also relevant to one of the points that I would like to bring up from our original attempt at this episode, which was I went to a concert in Worcester, Massachusetts. That was absolutely lovely. It was Powerwolf, the German metal band that absolutely fucks. Um, I had a whole sentence and it just gone. Just right out of my head. Oh, um, third stop on their first American tour ever, or first North American tour ever, because they also went to Montreal, which I feel cool because of that. And I love this ridiculous shirt that I got. And I also got another shirt because of who I am as a person, which I'm sure will be popping up at some point in the near future. Because, as I said on the last stream that we recorded, you can tell what thing I did recently that I'm excited about by the shirt that I'm wearing very often.
Good
And
to do like a conversation starter.
yeah, um, I witnessed a mosh pit. I would like to do that now. You got your retina detached in a mosh pit, which was just shocking information to me.
Which is actually something that just came up earlier today, coincidentally, which it's like it
Did
comes up
it?
maybe once every year or two. So it's kind of,
How did it come up
yeah.
today?
I was talking about my post-COVID vision issues.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And they were like, "Oh, these symptoms could they be like related to a detached retina?" I'm like, "No, I already had one."
That's a fun thing to that's always a fun thing to have to say.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of forget about it sometimes because I've
Shows
had
that
these
your
floaters.
decisions have been great up to that point.
Yeah. Gosh, it's getting close to, like coming up on 20 years, not too far from now.
Damn girl.
Since I got it.
Um Also, there's a new Powerwolf single out. This is not news in any way, shape, or form by the time this will be reaching you, but if you don't listen to them anyway, good place to start. She absolutely bangs. So there's a recommendation for anyone who is bizarrely intrigued after seeing the shirt or hearing me mention them. You have that. So I want to make sure that this is public knowledge because in our failed attempt at recording this episode the first time, we were talking about what you said during the technical difficulties that occurred in episode 116 when my headphones died. You were like, because I couldn't hear what you were saying while I was changing my headphones. And one of them was, oh, you should just, like, charge them before every episode. Like, which, rude. And then you said, if she could hear me right now, she'd be cursing at me, which was so correct. And I did take a second in our first attempt to, politely say fuck you.
Yeah.
Which just proves your point. You were so right, because as soon as I heard it, when I was editing the episode, I was like, yeah, she's so right. I would have told her to go fuck herself.
And to point out what I had said when we originally talked about this, I actually thought you could hear me still the first time I said it. Like, I forgot you couldn't hear me when I was like, you should probably just charge them before every episode, just in case. I was like, oh, right, she can't hear me.
So, we continue to bully each other. Yeah. What else is
I think
new?
it's important to make the people aware that I wasn't saying it, like, behind your back. I thought I was saying it to your face.
But I mean, also, who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
Not that wouldn't be par for the course. Oh, is that your fun newer wine glass?
This is the very glass you picked up out of the cabinet and then decided to put back because it scared you.
Yeah, it felt... The iridescent glass often feels, like, too delicate. And I feel like I'm gonna drop it.
This one's pretty thick. Some of my other ones are thinner, but... This is a thick boy.
Thick. Well, speaking of the fact that I was at your house last weekend, do we want to talk about what we did?
Which part?
I'm gonna say all of it.
That we went to an anime-specific convention?
Yeah, we went to an anime convention. Which... I can't say it was, like, it's not that I never pictured myself at an anime convention, it's that I never pictured you at an anime convention. Like, me, like, convincing you to go to one.
It didn't really take much convincing. You text me and you're like, hey, we're going to this thing. I'm like, cool. You're like,
yeah.
You're welcome to us. I'm like, okay, I just bought my ticket.
Which, like, thanks. But yes, we went to Toricon. Kyle was also... Man, maybe I should have invited him to be the guest so we could talk about this, but it's too late for that now.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah, we went to Toricon, and I don't know about you, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a smaller convention held at the Rochester Institute of Technology, and... we learned how to make chainmail.
I was just thinking about that.
Which is delightful, and I honestly cannot wait to do it again.
Yeah.
I could see that becoming a thing.
Mm-hmm.
What else did we do?
We listened to people read bad fan fiction.
We listened to people read do dramatic readings of bad fan fiction out loud. Oh my god.
That's so good.
Absolutely. And also, like, I'm kind of shocked that was the first time in my entire life that I've ever seen, like, dramatic reading of bad fanfiction as, like, event at, like, or, like, featured activity at nerd event. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen that in my life, and that's kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Not that I've gone to, like, a shit ton of conventions or whatever, but, like, I went to one of the big ones multiple times, and I'm kind of surprised that never came up.
Yeah, no, that should be a staple at every convention.
I would agree. See, if you were a fanfiction person, I think it would be so funny if we found, like, bad fanfics and, like, did that as, like, a stream activity. but it's not like you're just coming across, like, you're not just coming across them in the way that my friends and I, who, like, did this in college, for example, like, got drunk and read bad fan fictions out loud to each other, would just stumble across them while actually looking for reading material.
You can stumble across them and compile them, and I can just read them.
This is very true. So maybe that's a
Part of me,
future stream. Who knows?
yeah. Part of me really wants to link the Star Wars and the refusal to spell check description.
But I, like, don't want to flood
I
the
know, I know, I know,
person
yeah.
who wrote this.
I
Like,
know that's the thing.
not that
That's
our
the thing.
audience would do that, because one, we have a tiny audience, and two, I'd like to think that that people who
Yeah.
listen to our podcast are nice and wouldn't be malicious to someone, even if they did publish some fanfic that was in desperate need of editing. But yeah, I don't know. I want to at least give this like, give them their
Yeah.
anonymity, because also, because, like, if
Yeah.
I still have fanfictions that are published. This is on fanfiction.net. I still have things that are published on fanfiction.net that are frankly not good, like, at all. I wrote them when I was 12, but if somebody, like, if someone read that now and left a mean comment on it, I would still feel bad, because it's like, I was one. She tried her best, man. Little 12-year-old Bridget. She did what she could. Be nice.
Do that. Like, it's one thing to think it, but to intentionally say something mean to a person for doing a thing they enjoy.
No, literally, the rudest thing ever. Oh my god, did I ever tell you about this time? There's this. Gonna tell you a little PRND story that I've probably told you before, but I don't think I've mentioned ever on the podcast. There is this guy who, I've mentioned before why the PRND was founded. It's the People's Republic of Natasha Dimitriou, because she's hot and very funny.
Yes, the guy whose messages you had me read a few times.
Yeah, so there's this creepy ass guy on, like, every form of social media, primarily Reddit, though, who, like, just, like, makes, like, whenever you are a fan of somebody and you, like, you enjoy their work, but you also find them attractive, you can always tell who's just there to, like, ogle somebody. It's not like, oh, I think this person is very attractive and I also like their work and think they're very funny. Like, you know, it's so obvious that this guy is just here because he, like, just is, like, attracted to this person in a very, like, gross, objectifying kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
But what is going on with me? I completely just forgot what I was going to say. Like, I completely lost my train of thought.
You were talking about that guy being gross, objectifying.
Where was I going with it?
I don't know.
God, this is sad. What is happening? Jesus Christ.
Do we want to change the topic and then maybe
Yeah,
it'll
sure,
come?
we can try.
Because I usually, if I think too hard about it, the harder I think about it, the further it gets from me.
Literally just, like, smoke in my mind.
Yep.
I'm not even that tired. I've, like, had a remarkably, like, productive, on top of my shit type day.
That's good.
Which is, okay, whatever. And
maybe we did do a panel. Oh,
maybe it'll come back to me, maybe it won't. Continue.
I was gonna say we did a panel where it was basically just people drawing things in Microsoft Paint while we listened
Which
to
was
music.
delightful.
Yeah,
because, like, Microsoft Paint in and of itself is such a meme.
Yeah, yeah, and I attempted to draw shorter from Banana Fish, and it did not go as planned.
It did not go well, but hey, you know, you tried, and that's all that matters.
It did not look like it did in my head, and what I was trying to do, and I felt very rushed because I was one of the last people, and then he kept changing the amount of time he said I had.
Yeah.
And so I thought he was going to cut me off at any moment, and so I was, like, very furiously moving this mouse around.
It happens.
I thought it was entertaining.
I was certainly entertained, and frankly, that's all that I was there to be.
Yeah. It was more, not so much the drawings, but the general vibes of the room and the
general
music.
Vibes were excellent, especially when they played Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Brightside is always like any room you put that on in with the right people, it's always going to be a vibe. But that was like particularly high quality, in my
Mhm.
personal opinion.
Yep.
Um, Absolutely froze my ass off cosplaying Misa Amane from Death Note because there were several points where we had to like walk for like a hot minute between buildings. And I didn't bring a
Mhm.
jacket because one, a hoe never gets cold. Two, I'm willing to suffer for my art. And three, I just didn't want to have to carry it when I was like inside. Because as soon like this has happened at like several conventions I've gone to in like winter months where it's like you wear your jacket in and then you're there and you're like in a crowd with like the heat's on and you're like, well, now I'm miserable. So I suffered for my art and it was worth it in my personal opinion, and I didn't even complain that much.
I tried to complain for you and use you as an excuse to go in restricted areas.
I appreciated that very much, but I mean, clearly I lived.
Yeah.
Although it really would have been nice if the weather for the 2 days of the convention had been flip flopped,
Yeah.
because I would have been okay. Like, it wouldn't have been pleasant necessarily, but I would have been okay walking around like for those couple minutes outside in like the 45-degree we had going on day two. It
Hmm.
would have been so nice to have, because day one we were characters from Death Note, shocker. Day two we were all characters from Over the Garden Wall. Again, don't think that's surprising. But I had Wirt's cape, which is like I made it myself, which I'm very proud of. But it's like fleece lined, and that just would have been so much better to help me when I did have to walk outside rather than the like very skimpy dress and stockings and like lace sleeves that I had going on.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
also, I
and
think I learned the lesson that I should never, wearing the wig for Misa, I think I learned that I should never ever go blonde.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's fine when I'm clearly like dressed up as a character that is supposed to be blonde, but
yeah,
like it's not a good look for me.
yeah. I too would look horrific as a blonde.
Was not.
Darker colors only for
Yeah,
both of
no,
us. So.
wasn't nuts about it. Like, and again, which just like makes me feel like my conviction to like shave my head rather than walk around bleach blonde after the purple dye I put in my hair during quarantine washed out. That just makes me feel so vindicated in having made that decision, because it's like, yeah, it would not have gone well.
I was surprised that on Sunday, when we were dressed up as Over the Garden Wall characters, we
We
were
got
only
so
there
much
for
more
like,
recognition, which was
but we
kind
were
of
there for
bizarre
like
because
an hour,
yeah, we it
and we had our picture taken 3 times
yeah,
in that hour.
I got asked for maybe hello, please refocus. Thank you. I got asked for maybe like two pictures the entire. We were there for like 12 hours the first day. We did a lot of shit. I got asked for
14 hours.
yeah, I got asked for two pictures. Although shout out to the two people who did like call me Misa Misa to my face. I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we cosplayed anime characters at an anime convention. Didn't really get a lot of recognition, but then we should. And I mean, Over the Garden Wall, it is animated. It is a cartoon, which like I can see how there would be a lot of people at an anime convention who are just simply animation appreciators. Period.
Hmm.
But like, we were there for an hour, and we got asked for pictures like 3 times. Which like, on the one hand, I feel like Over the Garden Wall is way more like, especially like for like you and Kyle, you guys are kind of just like wearing clothes. Like I was the one who was like very clearly like a character. You did have your little Ryuk though,
Oh, on Saturday. Yeah, I had multiple people stop me about my little Ryuk.
which like wonderful, love him. But like me, I was like very clearly like had a wig on and like was very clearly like a character. But then for Over the Garden Wall, like even though like the things that Kyle was wearing, like yeah, they were technically just clothes. Like he still had like the bandit mask on because he was the highwayman.
is in this very room.
Love it. Yeah, I forgot things. But like he was the highwayman and like Greg's little shorts are so like distinctive and like
Mhm.
the like the gnome hat that Wirt has going on. I feel like you stand out more as like very clearly in cosplay and like in a group cosplay with
Yeah.
that.
Like I was even recognized solo because I was like a couple of tables
Mm-hmm.
ahead of you vendors, and I heard some girl yell, "Greg!"
Which like again, the little like I think it's just because like the I mean, even though Misa is like very like dressed up and very stylized, like they are just wearing like clothes
Clothing, yeah.
versus like costumes.
Well, yeah, because in the show they are wearing
Yeah, in the
costumes.
show it's Halloween anyway.
Well, except for the highwayman, that's just his work clothes. But
I'm the highwayman. How many times did we hear Kyle say that over the course of the entire weekend?
how many times did we hear all three of us?
I'm gonna say over 100.
Probably.
Like possibly over 150.
Yeah.
But like, as is our right, I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
There were
have
times that
two
that's a rock
questions
band.
that were for you specifically that I didn't put down in the document
Mm-hmm.
because I've never figured. I don't know why I do that. Actually, I know why I do this because I build our description, our podcast episode descriptions from the from the bulleted list. So I keep it in
Uh-huh.
third person because our episode descriptions are in third person,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know how to put. I cannot find an eloquent way to put things in the episode schedule. It's like me asking you specifically, how do you feel about this thing? So I just write them down for myself. But
Okay.
did you enjoy cosplaying for the first time, Bestie?
I did. I mean, I'm not as into it as you are. Like I know, I feel like you were very concerned on Saturday that people wanted to take your picture, but not mine or Kyle's. And Kyle and I were both like, "Yeah, no, we're good."
Which like
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe that's just like the hashtag trauma of like
Yeah.
often being the friend who was like the least liked in a group. So now I have this like very strong instinct to constantly make sure everyone is as included as possible, sometimes whether they want to be or not.
Yeah, no, we were both just fine. Um, but then it was also fun when people were recognizing us the second day. So,
Because
yeah.
I ask this because um, we are going to Saratoga Comic Con in May now, and I was telling you, I was like, oh, I have an
Yeah,
11th Doctor.
please.
Yeah, I have an 11th Doctor cosplay. Like, it is completely put together. I have every single thing. Do you want to borrow this? And you said, maybe if I don't think of something better first. So, do you want to do something again?
Well, say better, and I said something else.
Something else.
Because of course 11 is my favorite doctor,
Yes.
and
But
I would love
the
to be
reason
11.
I
But
ask this question is because I am willing to make another cosplay for you. But you have said before that you don't feel the drive to do any of these things, so I was very surprised when you said, oh yeah, I'll borrow the 11th Doctor one if I don't think of something else. I was like, wait, what do you mean?
like over the weekend we were like talking about various ideas. You
Yeah,
know, like, we talked about labyrinth and stuff like that. And I was like, maybe there's something that I haven't thought of that would actually be really cool and I would be very proud to wear, you know?
it is possible.
So I'd like to, take a little bit of time to think on it and maybe come up with something.
All
You know,
right,
because
I'm here for that.
I know I always say I suck at sewing, but I'm not that bad at it. I mean, I've made entire garments and bags and,
Oh,
you know,
for what I'm planning for Saratoga, I am gonna have to go fucking balls to the wall. It's gonna be fun.
nice.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, especially I really like the guy who's dressed up in the Spanish Inquisition costume
Oh
from
my god, I know, and he
Monty
had to have
Python's Flying
handmade that.
Circus. Yeah, and so like people like that's the kind of person that inspires me because they're
Mm-hmm.
like not only do I just love Monty Python,
Of course.
but also just the cleverness of him saying like, well, I thought that an anime conference was a place where they would not expect someone to be dressed up in this
Beautiful.
costume, and I'm like,
You're so right, bestie.
All right, man. That's
You're
that's
so
that's fine.
correct.
Right. So
Um,
that's my thinking.
oh, here's something that's just totally unrelated. I
Yep.
am now an unwilling NFT owner. I am an
Okay.
NFT owner against my will.
Elaborate.
For the ghost tickets that I got a virtual commemorative ticket because Live Nation isn't willing to send me a little piece of cardstock.
Yeah.
So I now have a like virtual collectible ticket NFT that I don't want.
Sounds very stupid.
It's unbelievably stupid. I am now an unwilling NFT owner. I do not want it. And I don't even want to sell it because I don't want to participate in that.
Yeah, I just don't get NFTs. Like, I am unfortunately a buyer of things. I get very excited.
Oh, same.
I
I
mean,
am.
I have this freaking stress more right
Oh,
here.
yeah, I am a purchaser of objects.
But like, at least when I purchase things, like they
I
are
have a
tangible
thing.
things that serve a purpose.
Yeah, no.
You might say this has no purpose, but it's delightful to squish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you gonna do with an NFT?
Nothing.
It is a waste of money. It is ownership for the sake of ownership, which is stupid and consumeristic.
Which, like, I didn't buy
I
it,
say it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm
but,
just talking about
like,
NFTs generally.
yeah, NFTs in general are
Like the
so fucking
concept of
stupid.
it.
But, like, yeah, I didn't ask for this. I don't want this.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know
man,
what to do with it.
it actually like sort of smells like s'mores, which is a little bit creepy, to be honest. I
Fascinating.
didn't expect it. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to.
I am really annoyed that the thing that started with the PRND has not come back to me.
Oh man.
And the worst thing is,
Well,
I know when I watch this, like, if it doesn't come back to me by the time that we're done with this episode, when I watch it through for, like, editing purposes, I'm gonna be like,
hmm
oh, this is where I was heading. And I'm
hmm
either gonna have to, like, make it bonus content or save it for the next one and, like, write it down.
Yeah. Yeah. I often have to write things down because I know I would not remember.
Yeah. So, we continue to be doing stellar. What other things do I have today?
Oricon things? Or are you
No,
talking
I'm
about the
just
list
thinking if there's
stuff?
anything that is like worth saying before we jump into the tweet discussion that we have. And one of the things that I think might be worth saying, just because it involves Oliver and I love him, is that I made myself a tuna fish sandwich for dinner tonight, and
hmm
he got the soup.
Oh, like the tuna liquid?
Yeah, I gave him the soup, and he was very happy.
Like, of course, I eat tuna, but just something about leftover liquid in a container from a
Like,
food
it's
is just,
gross, but like,
yeah.
he's a cat,
Yeah, yeah, I
so
know.
he was having a wonderful time.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
So, little man got some soup today. But let me copy and paste this link.
I'm looking at the replies.
Oh, I didn't even do that.
I, uh, I did not. Oh, interesting.
So this is a tweet from at Sahil Bloom on the Bird app, and it is this. Important thought experiment. You're in an arena with 50 hawks, 10 crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 15 wolves, 1 hunter with a rifle, 7 buffalo, 10,000 rats, 5 gorillas, and 4 lions. Pick 2 to defend you. The others attack you. The goal is to survive for 1 hour. What do you pick and why? And I think I'm gonna go with the 5 gorillas and 7 buffalo.
Fascinating.
Because, like, buffalo are so fucking big.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like a decent. Like, they could trample the rats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a buffalo is larger than a lion. I feel like if an angry buffalo is charging towards a lion, like, I think honestly they could get trampled too. Um, there's no way that one hunter with one rifle, I don't know how many shots a rifle holds. I'm gonna guess not many based on the video games that I've played. So, like, there's absolutely no way that one hunter with one rifle is going to last in any meaningful way against 7 buffalo and 5 gorillas. Because, again, like, buffalo are so giant. Like, I don't think about it until I see those like photos of like, because like they have to like tag them sometimes in like Yellowstone, and like there was
Hmm.
like a picture of like a baby one, and its head was the size of me. It wasn't even full grown. Like, them shits are gigantic. And also, just like gorillas are so horrifyingly like large and strong. Like, they can literally
Yeah.
rip you to shreds with their bare hands.
Hmm.
I feel as though they could protect me from many, many of these creatures, especially 5 of them, and again, backed up by 7 buffalo. I am picking the like bulkiest, strongest animals here, I think,
Hmm.
and also potentially the angriest.
Do buffalo actually attack people?
I don't think they actually attack. Like, I think if you get them pissed, they are incredibly dangerous. And again, like gorillas, if you get them mad, if you provoke them,
Hmm.
it like lights out. So, those are my thoughts. I would love to hear yours, and also we can delve into the replies in a moment.
I took like the opposite approach.
Fascinating.
My
Continue.
my picks were the 15 wolves and the 10,000 rats. Because
Okay.
so first of all, wolves are vicious. They're
Yes.
quick, they have good reflexes. A wolf could jump up and tear out a buffalo's throat before it even knows what's happening.
Okay.
So
Possible.
from my perspective, it's more about the fact that they're smaller and quick and could probably take most of these other animals down before they even,
Actually,
notice the wolf
super
attack.
random thought that I often in some video games where you I don't play a lot of games where you like pick a class where it's like, oh,
Mhm.
you're a mage or you're this, but I do like play a fair amount of games where like you like sort of spend your like experience points in a particular area. I tend towards the juggernaut.
Interesting. Yeah. No,
I'm wondering
I'm
if just
always,
like if that's coming out here.
yeah, I always lean towards small and agile.
Fascinating.
The 10,000 rats, to me, like, those can overwhelm literally any living thing. Because, like, even if,
That is a lot of rats.
because even if you have, like, a giant animal like a buffalo, like, my mind cannot even fathom how many rats 10,000 rats is. Like, they would cover all 7 of those buffalo and all 5 of those gorillas, and there would still be more rats.
Yeah, you could be right.
And so they would be, on these all these animals constantly biting them and maybe hitting jugulars and I think the rats really are the best choice out of all of these because I think that they're small, but that number of them and how vicious they are,
Okay.
they could take down
All right.
anything.
That is an argument I'm 100% willing to hear. Like I'm yeah, okay. That could be right. Or
So
quote
that
unquote
actually
right.
that actually leads me to his the originator of this tweet, the thing that he tweeted after that, which I just put in the chat.
It's hard to comprehend what 10,000 rats looks like. So here's 1,280 rats. So it's way more than the. But, like, where are the. Show me the rats.
Or emoji.
Oh. Oh,
You
yeah,
can't
because
see
you can
them?
do the, like, 4,000. Some people can do, like, the 4,000 character tweets now, which is the dumbest fucking thing.
Yeah, so
I
there's
hate
1200
Elon Musk.
there's 1,280 rat emojis.
Okay, that's cool.
And it's like
Yeah, it is way
it's a
more than
wall
that.
of rats. It is a wall of rats.
I believe it. Um, any replies to this tweet that we think I mean, I haven't actually looked at the replies that you think warrant discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look at them in advance. I just started scanning through it when we started talking about this.
I mean, you're
Um,
already a step ahead of me. I haven't even like given a single glance to any of the replies.
yeah, I mean, the author of the tweet actually chose the 10,000 rats and 50 hawks because then you have the sky and the
Ooh,
ground
okay,
that
yeah.
live on the
Yeah.
tiers. I thought about that one. Um, he points out that of all the replies that the 10 crocodiles, 15 wolves, 7 buffalo, and 4 lions just don't get any love.
Hmm.
But we each picked one of those.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so I'm just seeing. Oh, it's important to note that he first saw that somewhere on the internet back in 2012.
Oh, so he's just never finding it again.
Yes.
Okay,
So
fair.
he also asked AI this question,
Okay.
which AI came up with a very stupid response.
Love it.
Oh, actually, AI chose the exact things that you chose. But the logic behind it is stupid. That's what I meant.
Okay. All right.
Like, yeah, he posted the actual AI response and stuff, and people have, there's a lot of responses to that response.
Well, these will all be linked in the description for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah.
Should you feel the need to do more research into other people's answers?
He also asked ChatGPT to write a script for what you could say to the animals to diffuse the situation.
If you
That's
don't
kind of
kill
fun.
me, I will give you all food. I think would be a pretty in a situation where this is possible, of course. Um, I think that'd be a pretty good way to just calm things down.
Yeah, the basic gist of the thing that ChatGPT created was appealing to our mutual interest in avoiding harm.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
Oh, fun. Here's a visual representation of what you're going to be attacked by. Okay.
just keep scrolling.
Oh my god.
The 10,000 rats.
Oh my god. Did he really type out 10,000 rat
10,000.
emojis? Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could just like type out 10 of them and then just copy and then paste a bunch of times or something.
Yeah,
Like, it
yeah.
would have to be a lot of times, but
Or
um,
like you do that a certain number of times. Like you do the 10 and then you like once you get to 100 you copy and paste that and I feel like that could make it a slightly less tedious process. I don't know.
yeah, one last one I'll mention on there from the originator. Massive morning salute to anyone who took the buffalo or the crocodiles. I'm honestly not sure what y'all are thinking, and I'd recommend your family and friends go check on you, but I have respect for the nonconformist bold moves.
The thing about the crocodiles, like they are fucking vicious, like the
Yeah,
death rolls, but they have so many exploitable weaknesses. Like
yeah,
all of their power is in biting down. You can literally hold like a fully grown crocodile's mouth shut with your hand.
yeah.
Like there's a photo somewhere that I will try to find and I'm writing this down now so that I don't hate myself later. Crab crocodile pic. I'm sure I'll know what that means, but it's a photo where this little like crab on like a lake side or in a, somewhere where crabs and crocodiles are coexisting. It's holding its entire mouth shut with its little claw because all of the force is in being able to bite down. Their ability to actually get their mouth back open with like if there's any kind of force acting against that, almost non-existent.
Yeah. I scrolled a little further in the replies, and somebody actually pointed out something I think is really important that I didn't think about. right? So I imagine you did this exact same thing. Like, I chose based on what I would like to do the attacking on my behalf.
Mm-hmm.
What if you choose based on what you don't want attacking you? Because the hunter with the rifle, yeah, they might only be able to like pick off a couple of animals, but there's a good chance they would shoot you dead instantly if you don't pick them to defend you.
You're right, but that's why I'm standing behind the buffalo.
I don't know. I mean, it's a hunter, right? Like they're good at hiding and camouflage. You got all these other things to worry about.
Yeah, but it's like it's an arena. So like I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, but if you're being swarmed by rats and lions and crocodiles,
Then they're gonna waste their one bullet and hit one of them before they hit me.
that's unlikely because again, they're hunters. They're gonna pick their moment and they might have more than one bullet. It doesn't say they only got the one.
Hmm. Google, how many bullets does a rifle hold?
Well, I mean, he might have a pocket full of shells.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it is. I think they hold a few at a time, not just one.
Bolt action rifles hold between 4 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am honestly still gonna stick to my guns.
I think you're thinking of muskets. Those, man, yeah,
I
those
Here's
old.
the thing, I'm only thinking of things from video games, and I know that sometimes in video games when on the rare occasion that I attempt to do some sort of sniper action, I get one and then if it's like a first person game and then the camera pulls back from my from the sight and I see the animation do its little chick chick and then the thing pops out. So I don't know. Sometimes in video games you reload after one shot. That's what I'm drawing from here.
Yeah, I mean, the person that pointed this out, which was at keep moving underscore, 10,000 rats for the attack and the hunter because he's the only one who could shoot me from any distance. He could
Okay,
just
yeah.
snipe you. So I just figured that was a good point and an important way to you know, think about it from the other side of things, like which of these animals would you want to defend you simply because you don't want them attacking you?
Yeah, I guess so. But also the thought of like a gorilla attacking me. Again, they can tear you to shreds with their bare hands.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think the rats to me is the only one that's like an obvious no-brainer.
Do you have to lick yourself so disgustingly loud while I'm recording? He can't possibly like be dirty. He's inside all day, sitting on the couch doing nothing. How could you possibly feel unclean?
But he's a self-cleaning pet, and that's very
He is a
nice.
self-cleaning pet and I absolutely love him for that. But he is very loud. It sounds like he's eating soup and also when he does it in my lap, the stank breath.
God, I hate cat breath. Nix
Unreal.
was laying on my chest earlier, and she fell asleep. And then when she woke up, she repeatedly yawned this close to my face.
Disgusting.
It's now a reflex that the second I hear her like open her mouth for the yawn, I just suck in a breath and hold it
Yeah, I just like
until the smell has
go
passed.
away. Like
So the second she starts, I'm like,
he's a nasty, nasty boy. But again, would die for him. So
they're lovely creatures.
it really truly is going to drive me insane that I don't remember where I was going earlier. Because I feel like it was something really good.
You'll remember eventually.
I know, and it'll be at the most inopportune moment, as is so often the case.
Hey, look, Toricon. I just realized this was sitting here.
Oh, nice. I feel like it's a little too early for the weekly worsening, but one, I don't have anything else. And I think anything else that I could theoretically pull up now would put us at like a semi ridiculous length.
I was actually just about to say that I think there's a lot for the worsening
There
this
is a
week.
shit ton for the weekly worsening. So
There,
honestly, we could just do that and
there
go
there is
in depth.
there is more for my personal worsening than you are aware of.
Girl, what the fuck else did you do? Because I can think of several for both of us and also
Yeah,
for Kyle by extension.
yeah, yeah.
What did you fucking do?
Oh, so we're like starting?
Yes. You
Okay,
can't
so
just
I'll
tell me
mention.
that and then be like, you're gonna have to wait.
So, well, I mean, I didn't know if we were gonna do the mutual worsening
Well, the
stuff first,
mutual worsening is that we started watching Chainsaw Man and we're fucking obsessed.
but there's layers to that
There
because
are
I
layers
mean,
to there are layers to it. Yes,
because I bought the first 11 volumes
of the
of
manga.
the
Which, by the
of
way,
this
I'm gonna
manga.
assume this is you purchasing a manga for the first time in your life.
Yeah,
Great. So this
yeah,
is
and
a
I bought
big
11
this
at
is a
once.
big worsening for you. Like I have at
Yeah,
least bought manga before.
nope. First 11 volumes because there's 13 out already, but I was reading online that like Denji's arc is just the first 11 and then it
Interesting.
starts.
Okay,
I don't know how it changes, of
we'll
course,
find
but
out.
I was like, okay, so I was initially worried that like I didn't want to buy all of them and then kind of be in the middle. And I was like, oh, well, actually, this is a whole concluded story. I'll just get them all and read them.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So, and of course, we have Chainsaw Man watch party on
We have
Friday.
Chainsaw Man watch party coming up. Where I honestly, here's the thing: when I was doing the little like the
Doodle.
schedule thing, the doodle thing, I was like, I'll say it's technically 2 hours because that's and because I feel like that's a less intimidating chunk of time. But God knows we're probably gonna watch the entire rest
Watch
of it.
the yeah, yeah,
Who cares? So yeah, we're finished. We're going to binge the rest of Chainsaw Man in 2 days.
yeah.
Um,
And I started crocheting a little pochita.
yeah, she started crocheting Pochita. What is there that I don't know about? How could this get any worse?
The primary things that Kyle and I talked about over the weekend was video games.
What'd you fucking do?
I bought two more games for my Switch.
What games? Girl.
Well, because I'm complaining about the Mario and Rabbids game that I
Oh,
got.
wait, didn't you. You told me you bought Mario Odyssey?
No, I said I was going to.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the Mario
But
Odyssey thing isn't a surprise to me. What's the other
yeah,
one,
I
though?
mean, but I got the Mario Odyssey and I've been playing that a bunch, and things are just not getting done.
Love it.
But when I initially went out to get the Mario game and was just kind of glancing around, I saw something else that had come up over the weekend, which is a relatively new Crash Bandicoot game.
Oh my god.
Crash Bandicoot
Wow.
4, It's About Time is the name of the game.
I know, I've watched Kyle play it.
Yeah, so now I have two new games. I haven't actually played the Crash Bandicoot one yet because I was a bit overwhelmed because I was already like deep into Sonic and then I tried this like, well, I gotta try the Mario one.
I have created a fucking monster. This is incredible.
I have that means I've bought like three new games in the last like week and a half.
I'm so proud of you.
So
Wow.
yeah, so like in the past week I bought two new Switch games. I bought 11 volumes of a manga. Started crocheting a pochita.
Yeah, for my weekly worsening,
Finished
again,
this week.
absolutely fucking obsessed with Chainsaw Man now. And my, like, list of animes that I'm actually seriously going to watch next is, like, it keeps on going. Like, and I'm not even like, ooh, maybe I'll save this for the stream. I'm like, no, there's too many animes that I want to watch now. Like,
Mm,
and I think the one that I'm going to watch next, which is probably going to be the Ancient Magus's Bride, I know that's just going to make me so much worse. Like, I just
yeah,
know it.
I feel like being at an anime convention and not knowing a lot of the characters,
It has
it like
opened my
you don't
eyes.
want to know.
It has
Yeah.
made me so receptive.
By the way, do you see what's right above my head?
Kirby!
And my
Yeah, you
framed
can't
like
see
for the
where
art, but
my Chainsaw Man print is hanging up, but it is over there.
Man,
Oh yeah,
I
we have
have
matching
black.
prints of Denji and Pochita.
Hold on, mine are sitting on my dresser.
It's bad. It's real bad.
So from an artist, this is the one that we both have with Denji and Pochita.
Precious.
And then she was sold out of the one of Power, but because it was the very last minute, she sold me the display one.
I love it.
So, but I think I texted this to you. They're such a weird size. They are 12 inches by 6 3/8.
It is a yeah.
So 12 by 6 is a frame size.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to cut some of it off, which I'm not going to do.
Of
And then
course.
there's 12 by 8, which you're going to have gaps on the sides. I got the brilliant idea, and by brilliant, stupid,
Great.
to get like, some of the kind of cheaper poster frames and just cut them to size.
Well, okay, we will see how that goes.
Well, no, I attempted.
Oh no.
So technically, this is the correct size once I would reattach, because this is
Mm-hmm.
12 inches and I can't get the angle right on the edge, so it won't fit flush with it.
Oh boy.
And man, did I put a lot of time into this, and then I got really angry and just ordered a couple 12 by 8 picture frames.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna put like, a black mat behind it or something to
That's what I
compensate.
did with the Dale Cooper poster that I have hanging in my little like dining area, because that one I got on like I think I got it on Redbubble like years ago, but it's kind of an odd size too, so I was just like whatever. Because it has a like a white border around the entire thing anyway, so like it doesn't disrupt it all that much.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, I found the right size frame actually, because there's a website where you can pick like custom sizes, and it actually had 6 3/8.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the total with shipping and everything was going to be like $60, and I'm like, these are $10 prints.
No.
That
Oh,
seems
and
expensive.
I will find that artist's handle because it's printed on there, and I will put that in
Yeah,
the description because it was some cool stuff, bro.
yeah, and you know what? Oh yeah, that's an at sign. I never realized that that's what it was. N4391.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
will actually like link that.
in retrospect, I wish I'd gotten all four. So I wonder if I can get them from her
You
somehow.
probably can't wait. I'm trying to. Okay, so it's. Oh yeah, Denji, Power, Makima, and Hayakawa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the Makima one. I wasn't super enthusiastic about the Hayakawa, primarily because he's smoking in it. And I just detest smoking.
I mean, like
Yeah,
yes, but it is also a
I just didn't
cartoon.
want it on my wall. Yeah, I just didn't want a cigarette on my wall, essentially, because I
That's
didn't
fair.
hate it very much.
But also,
Um,
red hot take. One of the coolest like prints you can have anywhere ever is the fucking Van Gogh skull with cigarette. That thing looks so baller. Again, smoking is bad. Don't do it. But one of my favorite paintings of all, just like the sauce of that painting, the vibe, immaculate.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, I have this whole vision because I got some blank space on my wall right here where if I
Mm-hmm.
had all four, I would just kind of have them like staggered going down like that.
Ooh, that would be kind of
Super
fun.
cool. Yeah, but I'm gonna
A
put the two
thought.
up there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I like that this wall is now like the video game wall because you can see a little bit of the Kirby one, but the painting I have over there is
Oh
Space
yeah.
Invaders. Because there, I can't think of his name at the moment. I know what his name is, and I actually thought I had his business card. Oh, I
Hmm.
do. Dave Pollitt. Um, what he does is he goes to thrift stores and buys random old paintings
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. You told me
paints
about this.
things into them like pop culture things. So it's a landscape of like I would call it like a little creek maybe through some trees, and he painted Space Invaders flying through the sky on it.
Amazing.
I bought it from him at an art fair a few years back. So now it's like, oh, the video game wall. That wasn't intentional,
I love it.
but his work is so good. I really want some print of his Labyrinth one because it looks like, the very end of Should You Need Us, when
I
they're all
love
standing there.
Labyrinth so much.
Yeah, his work is amazing and it's funny. And I've got a couple of his prints in my office.
Oh yeah, there's a silence one, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
two little kids posing for a portrait, and then one of the guys of the silence. What do you even call them?
Just the
Standing
silence.
behind them. Well, a
A
single one,
silence.
a silence, a
Yeah.
silence standing behind them, and then like the little tick marks, counting tick marks on this. I have another one too
We
that I'm blanking on what it is.
so we continue to become clinically insane.
Yeah,
But we're having fun, and frankly, I think that's all that matters.
yeah.
And also the amount of like joy I get from quote unquote corrupting you, insane. Like just bringing you down to my level is so much fun for me.
I get real jazzed about things. I like trying stuff, and this kind of came up on Sunday when we were walking into the sushi restaurant because you were making fun of me because I wanted my yarn with me.
Oh yeah.
Because I got a package of yarn. I think it's
Yeah.
come up on here before that I have like a ridiculous yarn stash and I'm very obsessive about yarn. And I got this shipment of yarn that I just learned about that it had arrived as we were walking out the door, so I wanted to have it close by. So I brought it in the car, and then as we were about to walk in, I opened it up to like squish the yarn a little bit, and I was like telling it, "Hey, I'm gonna go eat, but I'll be back for you. We'll spend time together." And what did you say? Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I said I don't need a child because I have you.
And I said something along the lines of like, "Well, if you don't approach life with a childlike wonder, I don't want to know you."
Yeah, no, and you're
Which,
not wrong. Again, I just like to bully you because that's one of my ways of expressing affection for my friends.
well, but I'm saying like, the silly things like that's what makes life fun.
Oh no,
Yeah,
100%. We are very
well,
much on the same page here.
yeah, I just don't get people that don't like things.
I, I don't understand what people think about all day if they don't have a thing that they're obsessed with.
I mean, I don't get obsessive, but I have a bunch of different things
Yeah,
that I'm very excited about, and I bounce from thing to thing because I don't have enough attention span to be obsessed with something.
that is so valid. My attention span sometimes scares me when it like if it's a thing that I'm really hyper fixated on, like girl, take a break. Like that's me thinking that about myself.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
here
don't
we
do
are.
things very much.
Ain't that
Mm-hmm.
just the way? But yeah, so next week we'll be even worse cuz we'll have finished Chainsaw Man and I will probably have started the manga by that point because I want to.
Yeah, I mean, I already pulled out the first book and started flipping through it. It's in black and white,
Yeah, I know.
which I was a little bummed about. I think it should be entirely in black and white except for Pochita.
Except for Pochita. Yeah, that would be kind of fun. Pochita, my beloved.
And Meowie, even though Meowie wouldn't require. Well, actually, no, Meowie is already black and white, really. So,
So it's fine.
but pink toe beans, pink toe beans.
No beans. Yeah, so continue watching our descent into madness. Same time, same place next week. Doing so great. As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will see you then. Adios. This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brooks. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98 and at AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!